Hi folks, and welcome back to Fishing with Den. So if you're regular viewers on the channel, you would have seen me building the new fishing seat box that I made about 6 months ago. And I also did all those series of videos on exactly how to build it as an in-depth tutorial. And so I was hoping that some people would build it, and in fact someone has. There's a guy called Jeroen, sorry for the pronunciation, Jeroen, I hope that's more or less right. He comes from the Netherlands and he made it with somewhat more limited tools than I have. For example, I gather he probably didn't have a table saw. So if he can build it, then I'm sure it's well within the realms of capability for most people. What he did do as well, he put his own innovations to it, and also he used a 3D printer. Now he actually went out and bought a really cheap one, which he's given me the details of, and I'll put it in the description box down below. I did have a look online and it seems like it was $199 US, which is pretty damn cheap for a 3D printer these days, but obviously it works. Having said that, when I looked, they were unavailable and out of stock. So he's given me another one, which is a Creality one, which some of his friends have been using. And, you know, that's in the sort of £250 range. Now, I don't suggest that everybody nips out and buys a 3D printer, of course, but this is really just to show you what can be done with a little bit of ingenuity. So that's my box, as I said. Let me now show you his box. And doesn't that look familiar? The only difference you can see there is that the footplate, of course, has the bars in it. When I first saw it, I actually thought it was my box, and then I realised it got a darker cushion on the top. Let's have a closer look at it for you. He's kept the top deep box pretty much the same, with the deeper items like feeders and so on the left. And he's also created that shallow tray insert for shallower items and just to give some more storage space. He's kept the 4 drawers on the back. And the foot plate is the same kind of lift up plate, but as you can see from this, he's used the hollow tubular aluminium to make a more simple process. You'll remember on mine, I used this metal plate because I had it lying around and it just seemed like a good idea. But in actual fact, I do like his idea where you can just drill the holes through it and you don't have to be cutting metal plates. As you can see, the whole thing folds up, and he's used the bungee in the same way as I did because it works. You don't need to get too technical on these things. If it ain't broke, don't try and fix it, and it works. What he did do on the front of the front plate, I'd actually used my table saw to cut a hole in the side of the tubular aluminium there. What he's done, as you can see here, is to create a bracket over it, and then he's riveted it and bolted it down through. That is a great, simple way to do things. I did a similar thing on my trolley, but on mine I used 3mm aluminium instead of this, which looks like it could be 1. Apologies, Jeroen, if it is 3mm aluminium. But I also didn't bother with folding over at the front there. I just bolted down through, and it seems to be holding up fine. Drawers wise, if you see them pulled out, like at the top, I actually put wooden inserts with mine, but this is the next bit I like. This is where he used the 3D printer, and look at that. He actually had no real previous knowledge of a 3D printer, had to get his set up, and it was a bit of a learning curve for him, but what he can do now is to print whatever parts he likes. If he changes things in the way he wants to store stuff, he can throw these ones out and just replace them with something else he's printed. I think that's absolutely brilliant. And of course the knobs as well are 3D printed. Going to the legs, he's held them on with these clamping parts here and made the knobs as well, so that's a great idea. For those of you who are a bit older like me, those are a bit like the old Octoplus box parts, which used to lock the thinner legs in place. In the top of the legs, he's put these threaded inserts so you can add on any other sort of accessories that you want to, maybe pole sock or something like that. And as for the side trays, I went to great lengths to build mine, but he's actually just taken what looks like 2 baking trays that you can buy from the local sort of store, connected them together, and then underneath, again, he's taken some tubular aluminium and then created these brackets to hold the thing onto the box. Again, this 3D printer idea, if you've got anyone that can give you access to a 3D printer, I think it's absolutely ace. That's it sitting on the box, and you can also see the rest here, and I assume that's probably for the landing net like I use for mine. Down on the leg, he's actually got a keep net arm. He's made the block again on the 3D printer, but he's also, he tells me it's plumbing parts that he's made the keep net arm out of, so fair play, mate. And then he's made this feeder arm. The sorts of prices you pay for these things compared to what you can make them for, you know, I think with all the things that he's made, he could almost pay for his 3D printer and then rent out his services. You can see he's made the adjustable brackets down the back here, and this is just a close-up view. And even just on the savings on knobs alone, you know, it's almost, if you're into sort of technical stuff, it's almost worth paying out the couple of £100 for a 3D printer. This is what it looks like on a steep bank. As you can see, he hadn't got the cushion set up on that one properly there. It was still in the sort of early stages, but this is what it looks like as a sort of a more pulled out shot. You can see it's a great big Netherlands canal, which are usually quite deep, and the banks are quite steep, as you can see. So that's it. I think that's really, really good. Got some great ideas in there, Jeroen, and thank you very much for building it. And for anyone else that wants to build one of these things, please feel free. And if you want to send me some images of the boxes you've built, I can't guarantee I'll do a whole video on it like this one, but I probably will put a few pictures up so other people can see them and get some ideas. And that's it for another one then, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, click the like button. If you want to subscribe, you can do that too. And until the next time, bye for now.